Welcome to Bobby June Live. What's up? What was I going to do? Oh, yeah, I got to switch off of this bullshit. Oh, there's nothing. What the fuck is that? Hey. What happened to my... Oh, man, my stupid security camera went off. All right. Okay. Hey, what's up? I stole a... Bitch. I stole your line, Ricky. It was killer. Well, a line you liked. I liked it back. And it was killer because I hadn't thought about it before. Hold on. Let me gather myself. Oh, can't do that. I got new shit. Oh, God, stupid little thing I made. Does that work? No, one. Okay, it does work. All right, cool. Well, kind of. All right. Hi, welcome to Bobby June Live. Yeah, Ricky, I stole your line, your Link's line. And it was killer because it says, if masks work, then why are businesses closed? I thought that was pretty. So I titled the whole fucking show that. That's how good I thought that was. And it's kind of odd because I understand we could touch things. But if masks and the outbound droplet thing, I mean, there are unknowns that we don't know about, but if that's one of the big ones, and it's obvious that it is, and in closed spaces, then, and well, I'm not talking about the past where we overreacted and we didn't really know what the hell was going on. So, okay, I'm going to give a little bit of room for decision making that was, erred through ignorance. But once you know some answers, a few answers, not all the answers, then it seems like you'd be able to it seems like you would be able to, you can't make quick decisions, but you can make decisions based on things like that. And they could be admitted to. That's a good one. And everybody's wearing masks wherever we go. It'd be interesting to find out if there's any transmission in areas where you have to wear a mask. So that particular viewpoint would help everything open back up. And I don't know where to go with that fucking thing. Other than that, it's good. So, Ricky, thank you very much. And all that shit. But Trump is clean. We know Trump is clean because he'd be doing that hydroxychloroquine. That's good. I can't do it with you in here. Too weird. I can't do it with you fucking just sitting there. Play your game elsewhere. Weirdo. What? Tom would come in. Tom said, I don't want to watch the show. I want to just come in and listen to the show. Yeah, so. Yeah, it's weird when somebody's in here. I felt like odd. I'm a baby. I don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah, so that's Trump fucking Trump said, I'll take the Lysol. Give me the Lysol. I'll do it. I don't know about, I can't keep track of the goddamn hydroxychloroquine in the other one. And they said, he's taking the one that could possibly hurt you. So, I mean, wouldn't the media want to applaud him, see him through that to completion? The media should be like, wow, we're taking hydroxychloroquine? Go on, Barcel, let me send you a gown. So that's interesting. They are putting that on the front page. They should just keep that under wraps and let him go on with it. So that's all fucking throwaway shit, whatever. It's just funny how we took the two most modern years, or the two most modern sounding years. Now, okay, I'm not going to count 1999. The year 2000, 2001. I mean, that whole from 1999 to 2001. Those are the of our most modern sounding years. They should be marked with progress. But no. My people come over and fuck it all up. So then we're thrown backward. Religion doesn't necessarily amp up or ramp up. I don't think. Maybe a little bit, but not in any meaningful way. It probably got a little bit hurt. Bravo. But whatever, it didn't do much. Religion, when the planes hit the buildings, religion didn't do much. I would guess it probably hindered it. Just another ridiculous act by religion. So other than that, it still took our eye off the ball regarding the benefit of the year 2000 happening. It just shit on it. It took a dump on it. I don't know if he planned that. I hope he didn't plan that too. That's kind of worse than the buildings even. Let me take a dump on your modernity. That would suck. So that happened on the year 2000. Now we have the year 2020, the other modern year. The only other one left. I can't think of there's no other modern year left. This one gets the first one is hijacked by Iron Age philosophy. The second one, although not hijacked by Iron Age philosophy, sounds like it was. The plague. I mean, at least we have what do we call it? The pandemic. That sounds modern. Okay, I'm cool with that. So I just think that if we're going to, well, the camera's dust. All right. If we're going to, well, hold on. No, I started that sentence incorrectly. There's nothing if we're going to. We're getting screwed. The level of screwness like that is bad. There we go. I don't need that other camera. Fuck that camera. The level of I do need Facebook up. Hold on. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome, like, subscribe. You don't subscribe to Facebook. Rate, comment, review. Where's my shit? I can't find my shit. Come on. Do I have to go to the page? What? Hello. Bobby June Live. Where's Dookie? I'm just trying to find my video. That's all. I need to just pull it up. Am I live? I hate that. I swear to God, I fucking hate that. I don't even know if I'm alive. I don't know. Let's see. How would I tell? Hey, Thomas, am I live? I could do. Oh, Oh no, I can't do. Oh, I can't see Periscope that way either. Oh, yeah, I'm live. I'm live on Periscope. What's up, Periscope? I have to tilt your thing up. This was a bad design. Let me do it like that. All right, Periscope. What's up, Periscope? Yeah, I'm live there. Why am I not live here? It's hot as fucking here. Facebook. Yeah. All right. Posts from Bobby June Live reached 1,000 people. What do you mean? Why doesn't it reflect in my stats? Okay, there I am. Right? No, that's Friday. Oh, sorry. What am I going to do? Bobby June Live. Big, thick. Screw it. I'm live on Periscope. It's good enough. And I need to pay more attention to I need to pay more attention to other channels because fuck, dude. Because it's not fair that I'm only paying attention to Facebook. Periscope's cool. Periscope is it's just as live as Facebook in a sense. YouTube isn't necessarily live. You really have to pay attention to your notifications to get notified by YouTube. I mean, you don't need to, but it's not like Facebook because you're not in YouTube hitting that subscription button, seeing who's live next. But in Facebook, you pass by your friends like me, if I'm your friend, through a timeline. So you get to see what's happening. And you get automatically reminded. So, and Periscope is the same way, but Periscope doesn't have a timeline. So you really have to go there. Facebook is the way to get really juiced up about live crap like this you watch. Because you're in Facebook more often if you're a Facebook liker. If you're an Instagram person, well then, that's different. So, I don't know if I'm live. I really don't. Watch. Bobby June. All right, now I know. Do I know? No, I don't know. That's May 13th. I start most of my raps off kind of slow. If you love me, share my channel. Oh, if you love me, share my channel. Thank you, Ricky. That was very sweet. If a man can say that to another man. Hey, my mom was gonna give me your address so I could stop by. 187th. I thought you were on 189th. And I was super. Oh Jesus fuck. Super busy. So if you're watching right now, I just had to check out of society. That's just the way it goes sometimes. So yeah, it's very disturbing. I have a problem with the world going backwards. And so I'm really not I don't really have I don't have much skin in the game for momentary politics other than the fact that it's entertaining. You know, when I pay attention to politics, it's not the core of me that's involved because it's so here and now. And I'm more of like, I live kind of two lives. I live like I was telling Ba last week, I live my now life and I live my futurist life. My futurist life is like the thought of being revived and continuing on after I die. Okay, that's my futurist life. You have different morals, you have different all of your you have two separate personalities if you become a cryonicist. You have that split, that bifurcation. And politics aren't included because unless you have a regime change, like if they were to change the regime of America, if China said, we're coming over, dude, bunch of boats, we're changing you guys, that would be threatening. Other than that, I have no real concern about what the day-to-day politics, even the year-to-year or decade-to-decade, because we have a system that keeps things tuned fairly well. So you don't have to care too much about it if you don't want to. See, the only fact is that we have a very entertaining president. So really, honestly, I can't, with this podcast, I have to pay attention to it because we talk about stuff like this, and I don't mind that. That's fun. But I'm very tempted to do it without this stuff. It's just too impossible right now. I can't do the podcast without talking about topical stuff. It's just too ever present. So, I'm all over the place here. So I talked about the topical stuff as far as like what it is we're paying attention to, and that gets divided into, especially with COVID, that the silos of COVID. The silos of COVID, I tried to define last week, but it was too hard to do it on the fly. So I made up a little list that I'm going to build on. And they ended up being a little bit, not political, but humanistically personal. Like you have Trump and his objectives. And I'm not going to go to the rest of the world and talk about the rest of the world. Okay. Sorry. However, we have to because we have a lot of people in Mexico and we have a lot of people in a few other places. A lot of Mexicans. Hi, Mexico. What's up? ¿Dónde está? ¿Bien está tú? Gracias, güey. Bah. Talk to him for me, please. Say some Mexican shit. Thank you. Oh, so we have Trump, and then we have the personality cult of Trump. You know, you have Trump out there saying things. Inject it into your skin. It's okay. Hey, we're better than them. Hey, he needs to ramp up on the fuck. He needs to ramp up on that. Hey. He started to. I saw him. What is he saying, man? I swear, what was he saying? I love it. He was saying, hey, these guys are wise guys. These guys are fucking wise guys. He was talking shit about somebody. Started calling them wise guys. I was like, yeah, dude, that's good. Wise guys. Wise guys over here. So that's Trump doing his whirlwind. Then there's the personality cult of Trump. These are the silos of COVID on the micro scale, because they all have a different objective on how they view our situation. And it goes down all the way to us, how we view our situation. Amongst us, there are a smattering of types of people that are you and I, and there's not many of them. There's not many. So we have the presidential arena, and those two have particular. I can't define them right now. I've listed them as some isolation. I've listed some isolation regarding some silos, but you have to go into the personality cult of Trump and find out what that particular silo wants out of our situation, and you have to isolate it and label it. Tag it and put it right there. So we're going to do that because we need to be able to refer to this. This is going to help us pin down who's making good decisions, who's right and who's wrong. and who's changed their mind and so forth. So then we have like cheap China. Okay, China can't get out of the way of fucking up. I mean, they are the most impressive country on the planet. They've done with what they've had for 500 years and brought it into modernity under the blanket of communism and with an attitude. So China's got a lot of beautiful and impressive motions they've displayed onto the world. But they just can't the communism is stopping them. They can't let go of their iron grip. It's going to be impossible. Because if you let go of that and you let honesty emerge as much as possible, you lose the communistic aspect of the entire society. And you can't do that because if you lose the communistic aspect of society, you lose your party and then you lose control. And then other parties emerge and then you become marginalized and probably eliminated. So communism has very narrow, not quite as narrow as Kim Jong-un, but very narrow operating procedures. They don't have the flexibility. I mean, we have that too because we can't be a totalitarian state immediately. We have our restrictions, but theirs don't allow for, well, they have their way, we have ours. Theirs is simply more fragile. Ours allows for people to get behind the process. Theirs is controlling the people behind the process. So fundamentally, their actions are molded by that one need. And ours are molded by the other need. So we're both trapped by our systems. But their system doesn't integrate. And I don't know what they think of globalization, but they can't feel great about the world's progress. They must feel, like, let's get in China's shoes for a second. They must feel quite at odds with what's happening. They might feel that this is actually a really helpful thing for them. Pandemic. Imagine China. The internet arises. China's like, oh, Jesus, fuck. Everybody's talking. This ain't going to work out, dude. Everybody's talking. Imagine what China thought when the internet came into being. They're still scrambling on that whole release because that's not what helps them. North Korea just remain the same. But China, so they have that, and they have airplanes and globalization and trade. So they found they needed to make some money off the world and be a part of the world. They got a ton of people and they're smart asses. So they integrated with us, but yet it kept the same control. Loosened it as much as possible, but kept the same control. I don't know how many more world changes are going to happen before China won't be able to maintain the level of control. Like, imagine China 20 years from now, 30 years from now. We are very scared of China. We say, oh, China, here they come. They're going to take over. They got a lot of people, and they're smart, and they're super driven. But I don't think they're going to take over. I don't think there's a problem with China. China has inherent limitations that are fundamentally opposed to everything else the world's going through. And the more closed your society is, the more opposed the world is to you in general. So China, there's two routes. Can maintain the grip, maintain the control, and slowly turn into North Korea, which they won't do. Because as the world homogenizes into human, it just will be an outlier overall. It'll be a huge outlier. Everybody's using them outlier, but an outlier nonetheless. Technology will grow, technology will proliferate, technology will become tiny and very difficult to manage, and China won't be able to keep up with the whole process of the world. So if their grip remains tight, they have that problem to deal with, amongst others. But that's the primary problem. How is it going to manage how are they going to manage their communism and maintain a lock? The other way would be for China to change. There's a third way. It's called China just falling apart. And the change might be a falling apart. There's only so far a communistic society can move before it loses its sickle and axe. It can't go too far. I mean, I'm not an expert at this, obviously, but there's a process that has to happen until the dam breaks and freedom occurs. I mean, they're not totally unfree, but land ownership, business ownership, non-state control, that kind of stuff. So, and they're not necessarily opposed to that process. So we have a group of people that find it to be beneficial. I mean, the government itself is far more agile than we are. We have to deliberate over everything, and it slows us way down. So we have our inherent problems. But China's is greater because China's general view is world opposed. So when people fear China's future as the ruling party, remember that China is a minority. China is not the majority. So I don't think we have much to worry about China, because if it became a majority, there's two ways. It would have to take over the world, which is just, I mean, anything's possible, but no. Okay. And if they don't take over the world, they would have to, I don't know what they can't spread. China can't spread. They can finger out, but they're not attractive. You know, they're not it's not somewhere, unless you need to, want to be. Communism, I can't say that it's totally when you the closer you are to a biological process, the more successful you are as an add-on to the biological process. The biological process is evolution. The way societies are built naturally, not constructed, but just how they occur. Movement, you know. And so when you have something that doesn't mirror, or at least come close to the biological process, you're going to have a push. It's a constant pressure. So, you know, China experiences pressure that we don't feel. I don't think we can quite comprehend the level of pressure that China feels in comparison to us. We might feel the pressure of choice. because we tend to have the options to choose, which seems to be wonderful. I don't know how I got in this fucking China jag. China has the pressure of wonder. They don't when you don't necessarily control the system at its on its fundamental axis, or on its with its the whatever the 10 pillars of China are. If you don't control those like we control ours, you are placed fundamentally in a state of wonder. You have to really go deep into yourself to understand what that state of wonder must feel like. If you don't feel that you're in control of your society, what does it feel like deep down to be that person? What does it feel like to be unable to choose? So that feeling one gets from that, I title it Wonder. It sounds beautiful. I love wonder. Wonder is amazing. But the wonder I'm talking about is more, I would call it fret. I don't want to say fret, but it's definitely a state of not knowing. And so these traits that China possesses, not attractive, not really aligned with the rest of the planet. Very concerned about maintaining that as best as possible. They don't find change towards betterment regarding what's good for human beings individually as a goal. So, that's just the iron grip. So when you add up all of those, the future for China is, we almost have to protect China rather than fear China. China is, I should have called this show China. China is, we don't want China to blow up and disintegrate or have problems. We like China. We don't like your, what you got, what you sent over. Other than that, we like China. Except you're douchebags once in a while. But other than that, you're fine. We don't want them to implode. We hope that they would become lovers of individual and let go of lovers of collective. Okay. But if you have to maintain lovers of collective, don't just do it on the retail end. Do it on the do something else about it. They have the opportunity to be the reinventors of communism, really. They could. They're not going to. The opportunism of China and the necessity to be so is really ingrained. And it's not a bad thing that they do that. They have to. I watched something today that was amazing. It's just it has to, there's always a cause and there's always an effect to the processes at hand. And so the Chinese government is working in a way that is mandatory regarding. Now, they don't have to stay mandate. They don't have to find it to be mandatory to be communist. But like Russia with Putin, his strong arm needed to come out. He needs to be in charge. Russia lost. And then everybody then it broke up and it fragmented. So they lost and it broke apart. All the brilliant people left. They were left with a bunch of idiots, but driven people. Russia needed Putin. They still need Putin. You cannot let that country lose and then lose again. If you didn't have a strong government in Russia, even if it assimilated successfully into the world, the power and pride of Russia would have been dismantled. It's kind of like why we went to war in Iraq. You cannot let that happen without consequences. You can't fail at the Cold War without consequences. There is an effect to losing that you must pay attention to, and that is a Putin. So, okay, good. There's ways to do a Putin. You don't have to do it his way, but he is the answer, really. And those things last for decades. So, China. They just can't seem to shake their junkie. Or they just can't. It's impossible. So those three are political silos. Then you have the silos of the virologists, the Faucis, the Birx. I don't think she's a virologist. Well, he is. Even your local Wuhan virologist. Anybody who's scientifically tuned up in the world of biological contagions is they're in heaven. The only way to look at Fauci is to make sure he's not finally executing what he's been dreaming about forever. That's the only way. If you train Marines to kill perfectly, and then there's the hint of a war, you've got pit bulls ready to go. These people are ready to go. They practice. So you have this group of people. We love them. We need them to be experts. But I think I said it about a week ago. Those aren't the people that need to make the decisions based on what to do, because they have a biased view of the process. I know they're scientists. I love scientists, believe me. But their social reach is obviously extreme. So virologists have a silo for themselves, and that is chomping at the bit. Finally, we get to exercise. World pandemic. In fact, who chose the world pandemic? Okay, so we have to be concerned. I mean, these are words of virologists. These are words of contagion experts. We need them to have these words. We want them to have these words. But we have to make sure that they are dishing them out appropriately. And I know people make mistakes, so I'm not concerned about those errors, that we are going to have problems. It's not easy. But virologists are a silo, whether they are right or wrong. I'm not even going to talk about Russia again, but who knows what they're behind. Russia, the lazy attack from home behind their computer. Russia. I said it a couple weeks ago, as a matter of fact, again on Russia. I wish we could just fall in love with them. They're great. And you've got us. Now, us, I only have three of us listed, and they're political. They're lazy. I was lazy at the end. Trump love, Trump hate, ambivalent. It doesn't take much to, and the inherent problem, and these are spiked individuals. These are not, I like Trump, but I'm not a always Trumper. I'll defy any decision made by anybody based on what I think is right. I'm a neutral individual. But when you have people that are completely engrossed and all decisions made by Trump, you have a always Trumper, a never Trumper, which is the exact opposite. And then you have, people that are just news followers. Probably more never Trumpers, but they're and they might be the best version of us, but they're the most uninteresting. They really cancel themselves out. When you look at us as a population and you see people that just follow the news and just do exactly what's being told, and that's it, and we'll just do everything. That's babba-dabba-doo. They're just uninteresting. It's a non-issue. The only issue that it is that it seems to come out in masses when it goes to the grocery store. That's the only issue. It just makes itself very visible. I'm not necessarily looking for high visibility in our mean populace. I prefer the mean populace to stay quiet. Don't come out in droves. It's obvious. We don't really want to see. We don't want to see ourselves clamoring for toilet paper. Listen, we have pride. The human race has pride. We don't like to say anything bad. Just stay inside. We'll deliver it to you. Let the freaks come out. Remember, inside people, outside people. Those are inside people. You stay inside. When we have a virus, you stay inside. We got you. We're going to bring you toilet paper. We'll bring you everything you want. You'll be the best in the world. Chicken, everything. But don't come out in droves. It's embarrassing. Man, people. Fuck it. God damn. This is the most difficult. At least 9/11, okay, they did it. We did. Building came down. Done. We know exactly what's going on. This is just a clusterfuck of. I mean, even okay. There's probably other silos. You got Thomas here, conspiratorialists. They must be like, this is the decade of us. They need a leader. Thomas people need a leader. They need a leader. They don't have. They're too. Well, they're all identical, but they're very. Once they have a problem with anybody rising up. The moment you become anything in the conspiratorial world, you are definitely a shill. You're definitely. So once somebody rises too tall, they eat them alive. So they are a followerless base, which is their claim to fame, but without leadership, they're kind of their messages are like mimicry, but they're processes. So but even without a leader, this is the decade for them. They can't, I don't think they know how to choose too quickly. There's too many choices. There's too much for conspirators. They must be flipping out. If they keep on paying attention to the flat earth in the middle of all this shit, I mean, Jeffrey Epstein passed him by and COVID came right in. He must be flipping out. Where are you, dude? In here? Hey, okay, so I'm going to, Thomas is going to FaceTime me. I got to test he showed up. Thomas Drake. Let's see here. Speaking of Thomas Drake, Kim Kardashian came out with masks. That's right. Wait, what? Oh, it isn't up? Yeah, I tried to get into. Okay, Facebook is not. Hey, Periscope, what's up? Fuck Facebook. Periscope way better. Who watching? Is that just me and you? Facebook is not up? Okay. All right. Let me